Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you miss any most excellent videos. In front of us we have the RADIWOW R-108. It's an AM, FM stereo, long wave, shortwave, and airband portable radio. I purchased this for around $50 off Amazon, and here it is. It's the box it came in, RADIWOW, model number, kind of a dark picture of the radio there, with a bright white room. Oh, it's like the ivory room, everything's white, interesting. There you go, some information on it. A pretty simple looking box. Here we got some frequency guy. Oh, there you go, for the frequency nut and you. So you got shortwave, 1.7 to 29.9 megahertz. Nice. Long wave, 150 to 450 kilohertz. Airband, awesome. Okay, there you go. So that's the box, made in China. Alrighty, so let's see what this thing is about. So inside the box, get a few things. We get, first things first, is a USB charging cable. This is the micro variety. I'm glad they always include it. I have a ton of these, but you know, you never know. You might lose them. But there you go to charge the radio. Next, you get a antenna, which is nice. They give you a plug here and then a pigtail lead to string out to a tree or a balcony or wherever you have. You can hang an antenna high, get you a little extra shortwave reception and FM reception, and even airband reception. It helps. So nice to see a little inclusion of at least a simple wire antenna. Not bad. All right, next we have the manual. This is the R-108 RADIWOW. And in here, it's pretty easy to follow. There are some misprints, but you can figure it out. It's not too difficult. The misprints are pretty obvious. They'll call one button something else in here. So I just wanted to show you on page, was 18? Let's see, 18. There we go. This is how it tunes by steps on fast mode. You can see on FM, and then long wave, medium wave, short wave, and then the airband on fast, and then slow mode. You can see how it fine tunes those same bands. And of course there's stop, which is neat. I'll show you all that. Intelligent charging function. Okay, and I think right here was another chart with all those frequencies again. The cool thing is it does have the FM expanded bands. 64 to 108, 76 to 108, 87.5 to 108. It also has 87 to 108, just in case you want to know that. You have your 9 and 10K stepping on medium wave. There's your long wave, short wave, airband, and your sensitivities. For outer memory, we'll talk about those. And then I got alarm clock. Okay, so that's the book. I said pretty simple. I read it through. I think it was missing one or two items I figured out on my own, so we'll touch on that. All right. So let's get to the radio. There it is, the RADIWOW. All right. Got this right away. It's a cool gunmetal, like gray. I don't know, you'd call it like a matte gray finish, kind of military look. I think that's pretty neat. So let's go ahead and go over dimensions real fast. It's 5 inches across, including the tuning knob here on the side, 3 inches high, and a case depth of 1 1/4 inch. It includes this part where this sticks out here. Okay, and for size comparison, I brought a few radios out to the table. Let me just kind of bring this back up again. I have first the Texan PL310ET. Let's put the bigger one over here, give you an idea for size comparison. Definitely the RADIWOW is smaller than the 310. I'll give you an idea. It is a little thicker though. Definitely has a thickness to it. Okay, give you an idea. It is shorter. All right, and then I brought another radio out here, the Skywave C-Crane. This one here is almost identical in size, as you can see. Let's put these up side by side here. So I think when RADIWOW was making this radio, they kind of were looking at the Skywave dimension-wise. So you can kind of see where they were going there. Okay, and then of course I have the infamous Iron Man cards here. I'll bring those out to give you an idea for size. It's not a bad size radio. It's really compact. I really like that. There you go. Iron Man, he's the man with the master plan. I enjoy saying that. Got to get used to that, I know. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom this back down. We're going to cover features of the radio. There's a lot on here, so we're going to go ahead and get started. On the left-hand side, you get the wrist strap, carry strap. You'll have external antenna input, which is nice. I used it. It made a big improvement on the FM band, shortwave, and the air band. I was really happy with that. Headphone jack, decent experience. FM sounds solid, a lot of bass, a lot of mid-tone too, which is really good. Really low level listening, you might pick up some really small electronic noises from the inside of the radio, but you have to have it really low. And my ears are pretty sensitive, so your ears may not pick that up, but yeah, overall experience really good on headphones. Front here, RADIWOW emblems kind of raised up, kind of nice. Here we have a little 1.5 inch speaker, but don't let the size fool you. This thing is just amazing, mid and low end. It just sounds more spacious than the other radios, and hopefully you'll get an idea through my film here how that sounds. R108 500 memory preset, we'll talk about those. Here you're greeted with the LCD display. You got a battery level indicator. You have a timer where it shows your alarm settings. It has a wake up to alarm or wake up to radio. You have a display just like on Texans. You can change this to temperature or alarm when the power's off. And of course it has signal to noise ratio when the radio is on. It has this really bright white blue light. What I'm going to do with this is I have a piece of like a cardboard material I'm going to lay down, hopefully to keep the colors from changing like that. There's our clock, 24-hour clock, handy. There you go, FM, medium wave, shortwave, long wave, air, DSP receiver. Okay, so you got your numeric keypad. And if you look, some have extra functions in red. So here, number 4, it's a 9K, 10K switch. So we hit that when the power's off. Let's just go to 9K tuning, hit it again, and it'll go back to 10. Over here, we can turn off the long wave by holding that down. We can turn the long wave back on. Over here, FM setting, I showed you that. 87.5, 76, 87, and 64. Those all go to 108. So that's handy there. Rest of the buttons. Interesting one here is 0. This one here, if you hit it, turns the beep on. I don't like the beep, so I turn the beep off. Okay, you guys might like that as an audible. If you look at this display, it gets sharper when you're tilted. And that's not a bad thing because a lot of people will have this stand out in the back and it'll be sitting like this. And so that LCD will look really sharp. But when you're looking at it like face on or like this, it gets kind of fuzzy. That's one thing I noticed, but it's not too bad because you always have an angle usually like this when you're holding it in your lap or you get it on a table. So it's not a bad viewing angle. Here we have a frequency key. So that's what you do to enter direct frequency to your numeric keypad. I talked about that beep button, the 0. This also functions, which I didn't think was printed in the manual. I found out by mistake. I was messing around on shortwave. This accesses your band select on shortwave, and the shortwave is segmented into 14 bands. So this lets you cycle the 14 bands when you're in that mode. So remember that the 0 key lets you do that, and I'll show that to you. Here we have your band select key. It goes through all the different bands. Also functions as the ATS button, so your auto tuning storage. I don't use the ATS, and I probably won't do that in my videos. It doesn't. I don't like the way it picks them up. I like to browse using the VM and the VF here. I like to browse with these buttons, and it's just the way I like to do it. So that's the way I like to find my stations, and then I add them to memory as I want to, and I can delete them as I want to, which is really nice. So yeah, VM, VF, that's your memory and your frequency key. View memory, view frequency. Memory, like I just talked about, as you're browsing, you can add to your memory, which is really nice. And you get 500, so that means you get 100 in each of these categories. 100 in FM, 100 medium wave, 100 in shortwave, 100 in long wave, which is very depressing because I think I get 1 beacon on long wave. So I don't even know how you get 100 stations on long wave. I don't know. Yeah, 100 air. That's pretty doable. I mean, I've gotten almost 50 frequencies on air, so that's pretty neat. Not in this radio, but on my scanner. So going down here, we got AM bandwidth. So you got 5 choices here. It goes 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1 kilohertz bandwidth filter, which is nice on the medium wave and shortwave. Really helps dial in the sound. And then here we have FM stereo. So we can turn on and off FM stereo to improve the sensitivity on FM, which is amazing on this radio. Power button acts as your sleep function. So you press and hold, you'll have 1 to 120 minutes. Default is 120 minutes. I think I turned mine to off. Here we have a lock function and display button. You saw me cycling the mode there. If you press and hold, of course, the key comes up and locks the radio down. Here we have a dedicated time set button, dedicated alarm set button, and of course your seek forward, seek down, browse forward, browse down, if you're working with memories or frequency. Okay, cool, looking neat. Right-hand side, pretty simple here. We got the USB input to charge the internal battery, which I'll show you in a moment. We have a volume control here, which is smooth analog style. Here we have the tuning knob, which is similar to the Skywave. It has like an indented feel when you turn it. It has a little stepping to it. And if you push it in, it lets you change it from fast speed, slow speed tuning, and stop. So if you don't want to use this or bump this by mistake, which is pretty hard to bump, but it lets you do stop, so you can just tune from the front of the radio instead of the knob. Also, it has your squelch function. You press and hold that in and it actuates a squelch. Very good on the airband. Typically you won't need it anywhere else, but I don't know if you guys use it in shortwave or not, but I tend to use it only on my airband. All right, back of the radio, we have our antenna. Antenna extends up to 19¼ inches, swivels 360 degrees, has a little notch there, so it extends on past the cabinet nicely. There you go. There's our frequency on the flip out stand. You can see them all right there if you want to pause and look at that. I've already mentioned them. This opens up here. Pop it open. And behind here is our BL5C battery. Yeah, I'm not a fan that this radio runs on this BL5C. They rated it as a 1,000 milliamp hour battery. I'd rather have seen 2 AA batteries. It's such a thick radio. Do you think they could have fit 2 AA batteries in there? Which I think they could have. But I don't know why they went this route. It's not a bad thing because I have extras of these. But you know, over time, who knows if that'll be a popular battery in the future. So, but that's what it takes. And it seems to work out fine. So there we go. We'll flip that back down. Snap that back into place. All right. So at the bottom has a reset hole there. So to reset the radio in case it gets goofy, doesn't act right. Little rubber feet there, so it does stand really nice. Okay, cool. So let's go talk about FM reception, and then we'll do some audio and have fun tuning this a little bit. FM reception report. FM sensitivity, get ready for this, 84 stations. So we got a very good to excellent rating. That's a 4.5-star rating out of 5. I have a 5-star rating. I start as fair, okay, good, very good, and excellent. And of course, this got 4.5 stars on its FM sensitivity. I was very surprised by that. Just rocking. The second FM selectivity was very good. It would really, you could definitely select the different stations, and there was minimal bleed over. Only one station gave me trouble, and that was my local. But otherwise, all of them, I was easily able to defeat that by moving the radio in certain positions, and I was able to eliminate any heavy swamping by stronger stations. So great selectivity on the FM. Love it. So yeah, let's go ahead and turn the radio on. Now I'm going to get a piece of, I guess that's some paperboard here, just to get a different color contrast and see how my camera focuses here on this with the light on, because that light really throws off the color balance. Go ahead and turn it on. If you look, it kind of sharpens up like that. So we're going to run the radio for a few minutes on this. You'll see, I'll show you, there's your frequency. You'll see the display there. You can change it. Temperature, see the noise ratio, clock, which is nice seeing the clock there. So we'll leave it on the clock. Sounds good to me. We're at 92.9 megahertz, and we're listening to Radio Todderbert, transmitted through a C-Crane FM transmitter 2. There you go. And let's see, I wanted to show you one more thing. Okay, so if you look here, it says music. When you hit 4, press and hold 4, it changes to voice. Go back to music. It sounds really good on music. By the way, the speaker audio is awesome. And we'll do that. We'll talk about that in final thoughts.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
So you got the idea. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and turn that stuff off. And yeah, so it sounds really good. It's amazing the audio coming out of here. That's the big win factor on this one here. Let me just pause that. Okay, good deal. Yeah, so this radio, holy cow, this audio is just it's out of this world for this little tiny guy. It sounds fantastic. It's definitely, you know, the Tiv Dio, you know, has a small speaker, but this has some nice highs to it that really is enjoyable, especially when you go to that music mode. We're going to actually go back to voice. We're doing voice stuff here. So let's go ahead and hook up my wire here. We're going to just play around with the different bands and show you what's available on this radio. So I just have a little wire hooked up to my window blinds facing to the west. It's a little PL380 wire. It's not very long. It's probably like a 15-foot wire. So we're just going to hook this up here just to get us, because we're downstairs, just to get us out a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and switch here to the shortwave and show you how that works. There's our long wave. See, long wave I don't get anything, so I'm not going to bother showing you that. But there's medium wave. Let's go to short wave here. Now we're at the bottom of the band. Don't think we'll pick up much. We can see if 2.5. Usually later at night. Sometimes. Let's go ahead and frequency again. Okay, didn't expect to find anything there. So let's see if we can hear the Canadian time signal. So frequency again to direct enter. Oops, sorry, I made a mistake there. So we can just go down from here. There we go. CHU. There's our local time, 6:13 p.m. Okay, 0 hours, 14 minutes, that sounds right. Bandwidth. Leave it on 3. So, neat thing is you can cycle with the 0 button here, which I found out by mistake. Takes you to different meter bands, 75, 60, 49. So it'll take you where you want to go really fast, which is nice. Glad it's there. So we're going to use this actually to get to a spot. We'll start it probably right around. We'll start it here. Now what I like to do, there's ATS function, but I like to use the browse feature. So when you're in frequency mode, you just press and hold this. It'll start browsing. What it'll do is it'll stop and it'll keep going. So let's go back to that station since that was clear. So when you're in browse, you gotta stop it once you land on the station. Press this slow tune. Press it again to go stop, so nothing happens. fast. So we'll browse up some more so we can find, and then we'll show you the airband. So pick up any planes.
Ahora, también se está acomodando 1959.
Okay.
Tiene que sacarme.
It's picking up quite a bit. It's excellent. I love it. See, it jumps up. Now you can tune in between bands too by direct entry, which is nice.
Regions. Nguyen Văn Hoàng, owner of a big orchid garden in Ho Chi Minh City's Binh Chánh district, said,
Tôi chuyên là trồng hoa lan dendro. Cái vườn tôi là chuyên môn bán chậu.
My family specializes in growing orchids. We sell flower pots instead of sprigs to provinces nationwide. This year, orchids market is very busy.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's really enjoyable. You've probably seen my shortwave video outside. It was amazing. It's a great little radio. Loving it. As you can tell, I'm picking up quite a bit. And we're just at sundown here. I think we'd be able to pick up WBV on 10 megahertz here, and then we'll go ahead and show you the airband. And we'll go to medium wave. But the cool thing here is you can hit like memory, like when it stops on a station. You can hit memory real quick and add it to your memory, which is what I do. So okay, it didn't... so enter in 10,000. There we go. Okay, great. So that's shortwave in a nutshell. You get 100 presets, like I said. You hit memory to get them. You delete. Then once you have your mode, you can change it to preset mode, and you can scroll through. These are ones I found earlier during the day. Of course, not as active now, but you know, it changes as the world turns. But yeah, you can browse your presets, and that's really noticeable in the airband. So let's go to the airband now. So I like planes. So go ahead and turn this up. There's no squelch right now. I probably will leave it off because it's nighttime. Typically won't get much. So we're in the VM mode. So the neat thing about being in the VM mode on the airband is you can actually scan yourself. Oh, we got some transmission there. I don't know if it's going to talk again, but let's see. But what I like to do is just flip through until I hear somebody. And I entered these frequencies in. I didn't have the radio found them. I had my scanner. And then I just plugged in the ones that were most active the other day, during the day. And this worked out really nice. But, come on, talk. Somebody talk. At night it gets quiet. Got too many planes flying around. Now, of course, you can enter in here. Whoops. There's no backspace. Okay, let's go to 125. It's usually something there. We got some noise. So you have squelch. You can push this in and hold it. And you can turn it to where it stops. Yeah, they were talking. That's nice to have. And you got all the way up to 9, I think, a squelch level. I'll leave mine on off. But let's go back to this here. This is usually a pretty popular one here. Sometimes you just catch a tail end. A little bit of talk. Probably air the plane to plane I've heard on this one here, which is neat. Okay, but that gives you an idea of the airband. Again, during the day it's awesome. I had a little clip which I'll put up here in the iCard section for the aircraft tuning experience I had. So let's go ahead and disconnect. Okay, so you can hear there's some activity there. So lower the antenna, and then we'll do some medium wave. Okay. So one thing I noticed about this radio is during the day the medium wave is not so great towards the top end, past like 1200 kilohertz. Yeah, it tends to fade away.
Late November.
So you need a loop to bring the gain back up. For some reason, I don't know why that is. But at night, totally different story. The gain's back.
Some stretches were really good. We just had, test some tough matchups, but.
So run slow, go fast. Let's go dial it down here.
And the WSM brought to you in part by the Country
Nashville there, which is over 400 miles. Zoomer. Zoomer is Toronto, Ontario, which is 460 miles away.
When last we left our consignment hero.
WSB Atlanta.
I should be asking for your autograph. No, not really.
WJR Detroit, which is about 270 miles.
Senior leaders can lend so much validation to events, programs, and initiatives just by showing up. Take Denise Paul, CEO of Energy BBDO, for example, who values employee engagement and tries to reinforce the power of praise and recognition. She holds a company-wide dinner where she hands out awards to recognize.
And of course, you can do scan
Contact avec ces récepteurs-là vont envoyer un signal dans le cerveau, dans les régions du cerveau qui sont responsables pour le traitement. Et nous avons une perception olfactive. Nous percevons des odeurs.
Of course, it bounces over to Senate, and I feel like we.
WHAS. And let's go to see if 880 is coming in.
Your destination, helping you stay on the element. Simply download the app, type in your destination, and pick your spot. Plus, take $10 off your first park with promo code 880 on the app. Spot Hero. Park smarter.
Stocks ended the week higher. We'll check the numbers and more with Tracy Jonke next.
Looking for ways to save with your Medicare.
So it's WCBS New York to New York, 750 miles. Sweet. Okay, barely picking up 870 WWL at New Orleans, which is about 865 miles. It does improve later on in the evening. A lot of the stronger stations will come in. Let's go, let's see, 1020.
Nowadays, you can just put your stuff
Pittsburgh,
up on Steam, or
450 miles.
Stuff out in
Turnpike lorry getting by a crash near
WBZ Boston.
Past that, it's quickly easing through Millbury.
It's always booming. This is 880 miles away.
93 southbound state police are reporting some debris in the right lanes before produce electricity. So you can think about how challenging it is to make a fusion on the right side.
So, like the bigger stations.
Whether you're learning Spanish,
WTAM Cleveland,
German, and best of all,
the players like negotiating their days off, which apparently was one of their big.
And then we'll go up to the top here. I see in the evening it tends to get better, but during the day it wasn't doing very well past, I want to say 1300.
That was as big as you would imagine for other crimes.
Well, I think the sex trafficking part of it is the most important piece that we have to continue to throw at Roger. Visit simplymark.com to get started.
KXL, and then we'll go to 1610.
En el país. Y también otra noticia que hoy
That's CHA, Toronto, Ontario. Okay, so we'll go ahead, turn this off, do final thoughts. All right, let me just wait for that light to go off. Yeah, it worked out pretty good having this paper behind here. You can look at that display real nice. Really cool light. It's definitely more white than blue. I know my camera's picking up more of a blue tint, but it's actually a more whitish blue. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. So the RADIWOW R-108. Is it a buy at $48, $49? Yeah, go get one. It's a lot of fun. This radio I'm enjoying. It's just a great pocket-sized radio with an airband. It's just, it reminds me of the Skywave, and it's like the budget Skywave. I'm gonna say, yeah, definitely. If you're looking for a budget radio, It does quite a bit. This is the one to get. Like I said, it has its one little nuance with the medium wave during the day. And we're going to do some band scans so you can actually see that. And I'll have the Skywave handy and the Texan 310. I'll bring this one out too, just to compare daytime AM frequencies. You guys know that medium wave during the day is a good comparison because they don't typically fluctuate. They stay pretty solid. There is no atmospheric conditions changing typically during the day on those stations. So we'll do some testing there and you can see how medium wave is affected. And then, of course, daytime shortwave scan. And then, of course, dusk and evening. This is amazing on shortwave and amazing on medium wave. So we'll definitely do those scans too. So yes, gets a recommended buy. Check out the link below. I'll have it posted there. If you guys want to support the channel, by all means, click it. It takes you to Amazon. USA, I think, is the only one that has it right now. Once Canada gets it, I'll put the link for Canadians there. But yeah, go ahead and get it. It's Prime, and if it isn't for you, you can return it. I mean, it's just it's not a big deal. You can trial run it for at least 30 days and see if you like it. But definitely enjoyable for me. Alrighty, so there you go, the RADIWOW. If you enjoyed the presentation of this radio, please give me a big like. I appreciate it. 2, if you're interested in more of this brand, I'll keep an eye out and see what else they have, and I will try to acquire them for the channel and review them. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, get notified of those future band scans I mentioned. And 3, of course, comment below what you think about this RADIWOW R-108. Would it be something you pick up after seeing some of those mini clips I included up here on top? Would it be something you'd be interested in? All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care, and goodbye.